2 days ago, Amazon launched what they're calling the AWS moment for supply chain, Amazon Supply Chain Services, ASCS. The press loved it. Big claims, big customers, P&G, 3M, Land's End. But I have access to the platform, and after going through every screen, every workflow, every setting, I can tell you something most coverage is missing. Most of what Amazon just launched already existed. The actual changes are smaller, but more interesting than the marketing suggests. In the next 8 minutes, I'll show you exactly what's new, what's recycled, and what this actually means for businesses outside the United States. Here's the official narrative. Amazon spent 20 years building a logistics network for itself. Then they opened it to sellers on Amazon.com. Now they're opening it to everyone, even businesses that don't sell on Amazon at all. 7 services, 1 unified console, available to anyone, any size, any industry. The framing is AWS for supply chain. The implication, this is a new product, a new business line, a fundamental shift. But is it? Let's actually look inside. First thing I noticed when clicking on every service, most of them redirect to existing Amazon seller central documentation. Warehousing, that's AWD, Amazon Warehousing and Distribution. Launched in 2023, Multi-Channel Fulfillment, MCF, launched 2013, Multi-Channel Distribution, MCD, pre-existing, Amazon Global Logistics, a GL years old, Partner Carrier Program, PCP, pre-existing, Amazon Freight, Amazon Air Cargo, Amazon Shipping, all launched between 2018 and 2024. So when Amazon says they're launching ASCS, they're not launching 7 new services. They're putting a wrapper around services that already existed, most of them for years. Here's the inbound shipment workflow. If you've ever sent inventory to FBA, this looks completely familiar. Same SKU selection, same packing templates, same carrier choice between Amazon partnered carrier or your own, same SSCC labels at the end. The plumbing is identical, so what actually changed? 3 things, only 3, but they matter. 1, the unbundling. Look at this screen. When you move inventory out of Amazon storage, you now choose between sold on Amazon and fulfillment only. The same distinction runs through the entire console. This is the real change. Before ASCS, if you wanted to use AWD or FBA, you had to sell on Amazon.com. The logistics network was tied to the marketplace. You couldn't have one without the other. Now you can. P&G isn't selling shampoo on Amazon's marketplace through ASCS. They're using Amazon's freight network to move products between their own distribution centers. American Eagle is using Amazon's parcel network to ship orders from their own website. Land's End is pooling inventory across multiple sales channels. Amazon's logistics is now a third-party logistics provider, a 3PL, decoupled from the marketplace. That's the AWS moment, not the technology. The business model. AWS unbundled compute from Amazon.com. ASCS unbundles logistics from Amazon.com. Same playbook. 2, multi-SKU pallets for MCD. Small feature, but revealing. You can now mix SKUs on a single pallet for multi-channel distribution. Why does that matter? Because if you're a seller shipping to Amazon's marketplace, you'd never need this. You'd send single SKU pallets to specific fulfillment centers. But if you're a brand shipping pallets to Walmart, Target, Costco, or your own retail stores, mixed pallets are how distribution actually works. This feature is built for the new ASCS user, not the seller, the brand operator. 3, the unified console. Before, managing Amazon's logistics meant jumping between 4 different portals: Seller Central, the AGL portal, Relay for Shippers, and Carrier Central, each with its own login, its own UX, its own quirks. Now there's one console, one login, one unified experience. Sounds boring. It isn't. For an enterprise customer evaluating Amazon versus Flexport versus ShipBob, the experience of one place to manage everything is a real differentiator. And it's the kind of thing that takes years to build internally. Exactly why Amazon was the only one who could do this. ASCS launched in the United States. The Shenzhen China Distribution Center launched 2 weeks earlier. Europe is not on the list. When does ASCS reach Europe? Amazon hasn't announced timing, but based on how AWS rolled out, USA first, then EU and Asia, and how AWD itself rolled out, my best estimate is 12 to 18 months, probably late 2027. What this means if you operate in Europe. If you're an enterprise brand evaluating supply chain partners, ASCS is now on the table. You don't need to wait for the European launch to start planning. Your USA operations can move now. Your European operations follow when available. If you're a 3PL or freight forwarder competing in Europe, you have roughly a year to lock in customers before Amazon shows up with the same offer at lower prices and a better console. If you're a consultant or systems integrator, this is the AWS Partner Network moment. Companies that built expertise in AWS during 2008 to 2012 became multi-million-dollar consultancies. The same pattern will repeat with ASCS, and the early window is now. 2 things to be skeptical about. 1. Amazon's competitive moat in pure logistics is weaker than in cloud. AWS competed against IBM and Oracle. Slow incumbents. ASCS competes against UPS, FedEx, DHL, Maersk, Flexport. Operators with their own physical networks, decades of relationships, and aggressive pricing. The AWS for supply chain comparison oversells the position. 2. Pricing isn't transparent yet. Every "where can I find pricing" link in the console says varies by service. See the specific page. Until enterprise customers publish actual numbers, the cost story is unproven. So, Amazon Supply Chain Services, mostly a rebrand of services that existed, but with 3 real changes that actually matter, and one of them, the unbundling, is genuinely the AWS moment people are claiming. The hype is overdone, the substance is real. Both things can be true. I'll be covering ASCS in depth on this channel. Every new feature, the European rollout when it happens, comparisons with alternatives, and walkthroughs from inside the console. If you want to follow along, subscribe. If you operate in Europe and want to think through what ASCS means for your business specifically, link in the description. See you in the next one.